bitches. Sup, bitches? It's Chad Warden here. Alright, I'm talking about that PS Quintuple. I ain't talking about the PS Triple. I ain't talking about the PS4. Alright, Sony is gonna show the PS5 to everyone, and PS5 is gonna be the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox X. But what the fuck? What kind of shit name is that? So, let's look at the PS Quintuple right now. Hi, that shit is gonna be the bomb, nigga.
Hi.
So,
unfortunately, we had to cancel the talk that we had planned for GDC.
Come on now.
But we do have some super exciting news about PS5.
Ballin!
And who better to bring that to you than the one and only Mark Cerny.
Who the fuck is that?
Over to you, Mark.
Thank you, Jim. There will be lots of chances later on this year to look at the PlayStation 5 games.
What? No games. Shit, that shit is mad gay. Is this nigga gonna show the PS5
of the console?
Shit, the PS1, the PS2, and the PS3.
5 or 6 or
Nice.
7 years, and soon there's games that could never have been created before.
This nigga
Now,
is trying to
it
say
used to be
that
that as a console
Sony
would
make the
somehow
best
intuit
games.
What would be the best set of capabilities for the new console?
Gonna show the PS5 right now.
For the PlayStation
now.
consoles, that period
Right now.
lasted through
What
PlayStation
the-
3. Will do.
I don't see the PS
About once every
Quintuple.
2 years, I take a tour of the industry. I go to the
All
various
the people
developers
all
and
over there be
publishers,
pulled
sit down and discuss. It's also key to make a generational leap while keeping the console sufficiently familiar to game developers. I think about this in terms of balancing evolution
This
and
nigga is trying to say
Now,
that the
PlayStation 1
PS1
and
was
2
the
and
bomb,
3
the
were
PS2 was
revolutionary
true
time
shit,
with a
and the
brand new
PS3 was
That was
bomb
great
as
in many
shit.
ways, but so with
Oh,
PlayStation
shit.
4, we were able to strike
The
a pretty good
PS4.
balance between performance and familiarity. We got required learning.
Nigga is trying to say that the PS4 is positioned as the best,
Definitely
right?
the area we felt the most tension.
So,
Adding
where the
features
fuck is the PS Quintuple?
programming model. Ultimately, I think
That
we
ain't
ended
the
up with something under
PS5.
a
That's
model
actually
of
just the name
that feels
shit.
like we're striking a blow. That's today's final touch.
I ain't see one
push
PS5
for vastly
here.
improved
I ain't
in
seen
particular, 3D
no.
audio isn't something that came out of the first being
Nigga, why
enabling
do you
the
talk
designers
like
of
that?
developers to drive.
I can't even do.
To me, the
That's
SSD really
deep.
is the key to the next generation.
That's deep is fault.
And
So
it was the number one
dick.
ask from developers for PlayStation 5. So having internally, it was clear
Where the
that
hell
just
is the
hard
PS
drive on
Quintuple?
PlayStation 4 was having a positive impact to load a gigabyte of data from a hard drive.
So
The difficulty being that hard drives are neither particularly fast nor flexible. If all your data
This
is in one
nigga
block,
is
loading
smart
a
shit.
gigabyte takes 10 seconds. If you compress your games,
maybe that nigga got the PS Quintuple up his
boot
ass
times
and is
load
gonna
times
shit
can
the
be
PS5 right now and show everyone
Wait for the game to boot.
like right now.
Wait for the game to
Shit.
load.
Come
wait for
on.
the level to reload every
Shit,
time
you-
you die, and you wait for what is even not just an SSD, but a blindingly fast SSD.
Chad
We
Warden
could
don't give a
load
shit about
5
SSD,
gigabytes a
HDD, STD, HDB, STP, and Chad Warden just want to see the PS Quintuple, right?
1,000 different locations. Fades down while loading.
What is
a half
that?
dozen gigabytes.
Oh
Same for
shit!
a reload. You're immediately back in the action.
It's like I just
And
ain't
fast
mushroom
travel
nigga.
becomes so fast it's blink and you miss it. As game create of smaller pieces and then do some calculations with sight lines and run speeds like we did for Haven City when we were making Jack 2. The game is
Nigga,
20
why
years
you
old,
talking about
but not-
PS2 game? You supposed to talk
All
about the
those
PS
pieces
Quintuple, right?
There's a whole so no need to make brand new files with the changes.
Why do
incorporated,
you talk like
which means
that?
no installs as you know them today. There's yet one more benefit, which is that
It's
system
like
memory
you don't
is
want people
much
to hear you.
On PlayStation 4, game data on the hard drive feels. On my 2017 tour of developers,
What
I
the
learned
hell
about
is
a new
that?
format called Kraken from Rad Game Tools.
Nigga, is that
Really
Asian
smart
poor
stuff.
knows?
Simple,
Don't show that shit
similar
here. Just
types of
show the
algorithms,
PS
but about
Quintuple,
10%
right?
better compression, which is pretty big. That means 10% more
That
games
shit
on the
is
USB
illegal. Hey,
disk
shit.
or on the SSD. It depends on how you're going to use it. If you have an extensive PlayStation 4 library and you'd like to take advantage of backwards compatibility,
This nigga talks like a
then
little
large
bitch.
external hard drive is ideal. That commercial M2 drive will have its own architecture.
Come on, Sony, don't do me like that. Son, you show the PS Triple
lays
dildo.
out a priority scheme for requests that the M2 drives can use. And that scheme is pretty nice, but many of these capabilities result in more performance. That's part of why a PlayStation 5 teraflop is more powerful than a PlayStation 4 teraflop. But we aren't just looking for
that ain't me.
the ability to do something with the GPU involves the logic and feature set
PS4, PS5
titles rely on off-screen. PlayStation 5 has a new unit called the Geometry Engine, which brings
nigga, we ain't doing geometry. We try to see that PS cool.
As a game developer, you're free to ignore its existence and use the PlayStation 5 GPU as an additional graphics engine could easily take hundreds of millions of rays a second, and full ray tracing could take billions. How far can we go? I'm starting to get quite bullish. I've already seen a PlayStation 5 title successfully using ray tracing based reflections in complex animated scenes with only modest costs. Another set of issues for the GPU involve size and frequency. How big do we make the GPU, and what frequency do we run it at? Much higher bandwidth, and so on. About the only downside is that system memory is 33% further
Show
away
me the
but
PS5.
the large number of benefits
Show me the PS5.
As a friend of mine says, a rising tide.
Show me the PS5.
Also, it's
Show
easier
me
to
the
fully use
PS5.
36 CUs in parallel than it is
Show
to
me
fully
the
use 48.
PS5.
When triangles are small, it's much harder to fill all those CUs.
Show me the PS5.
There's a lot to be said for faster, assuming
Come
you can
on,
handle the
bitches.
resulting power and heat issues, which frankly, I know the power consumption.
You know what?
is
I
high
need to beat
just
this
by
nigga's ass.
But power isn't simply
maybe
about
shoot
the
this
quality.
nigga.
It's about the minute. 36 CUs at 2.23 gigahertz is 10.3 teraflops, and we expect the GPU to spend most of its time at or close
Show
to
me the PS5.
performance. Similarly, constant frequency and letting power vary based on the workload, we run at essentially constant power and let the frequency vary based on the workload. We then tackle the engineering challenge of a cost-effective and high-performance cooling solution designed for that specific power level. In some ways, it becomes a simpler problem because there are no variables. There's no need to guess what power consumption the worst-case game might have. As for the details of the cooling solution, we're saving them for our takedown, and I think you'll be quite happy with what the engineering team came up with. So, how fast can we run the GPU and CPU with this strategy? The simplest approach would be to look at the actual temperature of the silicon die and throttle the frequency on that basis. But that won't work. It fails to create a consistent PlayStation 5 experience.
Oh shit. What?
Oh,
This nigga is talking shit.
So rather than here's how we measure
Look at that.
in HRTF. We've taken we then play an audio sweep from each speaker
Look at
as
how
we
cool
rotate
is
the
that?
object. This shows a piece of the default HRTF on the left and my HRTF on the right. You can see that the general features are much the same, but the details are quite different.
Man, they
With
best
the default
rename that shit to
HRTF, as I said,
Chadwood.
3D audio sounds pretty great. This is
This
a
is
journey
get
we're all
niggas
taking together over the
shit
next
is
few
about
years.
to get
Ultimately
real.
committing to enabling
We
everyone
won't see
to
the PS
experience
wins.
that next
Double.
level of
Sony
realism.
is gonna win, baby. Sony always
Hopefully,
wins.
I've been able to illustrate
This
a bit
ain't
about
gonna
our
be
design
figment of your
decision-making
imagination,
process
nigga.
and why PlayStation
Y'all
5
niggas
has
gonna
the
see
features
that wins. Double.
Now comes the fun part.
Y'all
We get to
niggas gonna
see how the
shit
development
yourselves right
community
now.
takes advantage of that feature set.
Come on, let's go.
I'm hoping for
PS wins. Double, baby.
Will it come from audio,
This
ray
is
tracing,
gonna be
the capabilities
Ballin.
of the SSD, or something else?
Show
I guess
me
we'll
the
find out.
PS5.
Thank you
What?
for your
What? You can't come back here, nigga.
What a disappointment!
What the fuck, Sony? You supposed to show the PS wins double, but then you just be getting some gay ass nigga talking about shit Chadwood don't give a fuck about. Man, Sony always fucks with Chadwood. I mean, come on. You say that you ain't gonna show any PS5 games, but you don't say that you ain't gonna show the PS wins double. that is a load of bullshit. Right there, alright? You know what? Chairwoman is gonna get my toilet and shove my toilet in my caddy and go rolling around my caddy and shoot up shit in my toilet and everyone and everything. Alright? That is something new for Chairwoman, alright? Now, where is my toilet? There is my toilet. Right there. Come here, toilet. Fucking bitches.